The real voyage of discovery is not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. I have taken so many journeys outside my comfort zone to experience new cultures, to understand humanity, to experience God. But I have realized the most important journey in one's life is the journey within. Freedom means the capability to say yes when yes is needed, to say no when no is needed, and sometimes to be quiet when nothing is needed, to be silent, not to say anything. When all those dimensions are available, there is freedom. How to live one's life is the one question that has transformed itself into millions of questions, creating so many different religions in the world. In this journey, I seek answers to some of my questions.
Hiroshima, some Nobel laureates sort of meeting for peace summit. So at the end, one more ceremonial way, some local Japanese officials also there. As you know, Japanese officials, they are rather sort of more formal way, something like that. So then some other Nobel laureate, they mentioned peace, with blessing of God or Buddha, peace will prevail. Then my turn, or that sort of meeting, more formal meeting. I always talk bluntly or frankly, so I told there also, peace, world peace through prayer will not achieve. Peace achieved only through our action, human action. So action is more important than prayer. I expressed that. So I felt those Japanese officials, what is their sort of face? I look, they also agree, do that.
Foundation for Universal Responsibility of His Holiness the Dalai Lama organizes a 14-day interfaith program across south of India. 30 participants are selected from all over the world. They experience different religions, understand different philosophies, and go closer to find themselves. I took the same road in 2009 as a participant, and it had changed my life. I am taking the same journey again, but this time as a filmmaker, to witness the change this journey was about to bring.
कौन सा वाला गाना?
कोई भी आपका फेवरेट?
ठीक है। हम तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा, तुझसे जुदा अगर हो जाएंगे, खुद से भी हो जाएंगे खफा, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो, जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो, चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो.
Every year takes something, you know, and every year is a new journey for me. There's a new people. Of course, we're going to same places.
This is the 10th year of the Youth Interfaith Pilgrimage Program, and it's a program to travel. We call it pilgrimage because we're going to different religion centers and not only discussing, listening to the people of different faith, lectures, but also to go to each place and go to their places of worship and to understand their thoughts, faith, and to engage with the community itself. So we actually meet different kind of people. So at the end of the program, we believe the participants will get a kind of a clear picture or the conceptions that they have before, maybe they will change, and basically to respect different people and different faiths, which makes the person, the participant, a better person at the end of the day, I think.
Every religion has something really interesting and smart in it, even if it's not your own religion. So I came here because I want to know more about those religions.
There is something more to life, and we have to see that what that is, and it's very important to find out, and that's particularly why I'm here at Interfaith, because in a way we're exploring the roots of religion. But religion is not just particularly religion as what people think. Religion is something that it is the very core of our structural, the structure of our society is formed in religion. According
to my experience conducting this program for almost 7 years now, what I have seen is, at the end of the program, it brings kind of an harmony, I think, in their own mind about other faith. And basically, it brings a kind of a respect. And this is the main agenda. I mean, we are not actually going to criticize different faith or different people, what they're doing, but actually to understand what they're doing and why they're doing.
I grew up completely without any religion. And I would stick to my religion is compassion or humanity. So for me, the interfaith pilgrimage is very interesting, just to get an overview over all the different religions. I came in contact with religion before, but never really that deeply.
I believe in God. I don't believe in a specific religion, really. I don't follow any specific religion, but I believe in something which I would like to call God.
I always describe Indians, our guru, you. Actually, historically, our guru, we are Chela. So sometimes among our gurus, a little bit sort of the unhealthy things like corruptions. So that's really, I feel very serious. The non-believer, like communist in Russia or in China, it's quite understandable. They don't care about moral principles, moral thing. But India, this is a religious nation. I think many of these corrupted officials or corrupted politicians, I think in their home, I think some statue of Ganesh or some statue of Brahma, some statue of Vishnu, like that, Shivaji. So these are religious-minded people. I think every morning they worship, offer some flower, some incense, but they don't care about these sort of laws or teaching. They just carry various methods in order to gain money. Corruptions, exploitations, bully, lie, like that, isn't it?
Eyes are just windows. They can't see unless you see through them. How can a window see? You have to stand at the window. Only then can you see.
Islam has two root words to it. One is silm, which is meaning surrender, sincerity, submission. And the other word is salm, which is peace. So if you put these two things together, it's peace acquired by submitting, surrendering, and posing sincerity to God Almighty.
Jain means one who has conquered one's own self is a Jain. And those who practice these principles, all of them are Jains. I'm not only a Jain, others can also be Jains if at all they practice the concepts of ahimsa, satya, achorya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
A person who follows Christ, because the Bible and especially New Testament is very clear that Jesus did not, his purpose was not to start a religion of what we understand Christianity today, but it is a movement. It is an experience of God that is open to all and welcome to everybody. So therefore, in that sense, for me personally, it's my personal opinion, that somebody who is not part of the Christian religion, so to say, as part of the church structure, could still follow Christ, Jesus Christ, and still be called a Christian. There is nobody who can stop him.
See, literal meaning of a Sikh is a person who is a learner. That means in your life, you have to be always a learner. You cannot call yourself as a guru. Even if you are a very learned person, you will keep learning. What is guru is our Guru Granth Sahib, which have all the teachings of gurus, several saints from various regions across the world, and we consider that as our guru and ourselves as a learner or a Sikh.
These three people follow different religious paths. When they died, surprisingly they find that they are in the same place, whatever it may be, the hell or the heaven or then they will, when they meet at that point, they might say, "Arey, you are following Islam, I'm following Buddhism, but we meet at the same place. What's going on?"
Any person who creates bloodshed is actually no longer Muslim practitioner. And then also the very meaning of jihad. One my friend told me in India, real meaning of jihad is combat your negative emotions and wrong deeds, wrong actions. So later I discussed one scholar, Muslim scholar in New York. He also used to mention same way. So real meaning of jihad is starker within yourself, the negative force and the positive force. This is the same. Buddhism, Hinduism, every religion, same.
It's very hard for me to connect to Islam because their way of thinking and their philosophy, the role of women in that is slightly different from the religion I'm born into and the one I follow now. So, but after attending the Islam sessions, I am more open to them because they are right in their own way. They have a strong faith in the Prophet, in the God.
If there is any brother who's willing, who's a non-Muslim, who's willing to come to the mosque, he is welcome to the mosque. There is no restriction whatsoever. The only thing is, he just need to clean himself, in the place that is meant for ablution. Just wash his feet and get inside. It's a sin not to allow people come into the mosque. Allah has two portions in it. One is Al, the, La, the one and only who is worshipped. So Allah means God, who is worthy of worship. The word Muslim is from the Quran. God chose the word for the people who follow Islam as a Muslim. So a Muslim is a person who follows Islam. Quran says there's no compulsion in religion. We cannot force anybody to become a Muslim or the other way around.
What is wrong for the Sunnis is right for the Shias. So now inside right and wrongs we are fighting. So what I say is there is no right and wrong in Allah's book. Allah says there is only a consequence. Can you see? There's no right and wrong in jumping. If you want to jump from second floor, is it right or wrong to jump from second floor? I said there's no right and wrong. There's only consequence. So if you break the divine law, there is a consequence. Can you see this? There is a consequence that we Muslims also are paying by dividing ourselves into the picture of right and wrong and creating judgments, opinions and this thing, and then started putting their views into other people, and they want to enforce their views, and we are right, and that is what's happening, and that's what the chaos you find in this world.
Yeah, you can do it. If you want to pray, not being a Muslim, you can do that. But there is a violation of fundamental here. Who are you praying to? And what you are praying for? is the question that I would ask.
I have never prayed in a mosque before. It was a unique experience to see people of different faiths praying in the name of Allah. What I was praying for, I don't know. I was born in a Hindu family and have prayed in front of several gods and goddesses. Why my conditioning had stopped me from praying to Allah? I want to submit my ego. Message of all the faiths is simple: loving kindness and compassion.
See, in this whole world you will find very, very few people who are really religious. And among the religious also you have two categories of people. One category of people who makes use of God so that you have all the good things in the world. But the truly, truly religious people are the people who make use of the world to discover God. So my question always is God the means or is God the goal? Ordinarily when you pray, then what happens? God is the means for me to achieve all the good things in the world. And so I refine my prayer, and I may get special skills, special healing powers, special divine touches also through spiritual practices. But essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make use of God to be able to have a good world. True prayer is really an understanding. You know, once you understand what godliness is all about, like Buddha never talks about prayer. Buddha never talks about God. He never talks about heaven, because these are all metaphysical aspects. That's why Buddha is absolutely true. Once a person understands what is God, in a sense prayer is irrelevant. To whom are you praying? So, but still you don't stop praying, because you know, prayer is a nice experience. You can pray, you can sing, there's a certain joy in it, but then it doesn't make sense that you're going to ask for anything. Once there is a sense of fulfillment, then what are you going to ask for? Prayer becomes just another exercise like you do everything else, another drama in itself. Prayer can be a big drama too.
Places of congregation where you pray together, it has a special energy. And I really like that energy, and I really like because you see, it's a place where everybody has a good intention, and then praying for good, for your own self, for your family, for your neighbors, and the whole humanity, I think.
I thought about many things, because all this journey make you think about everything much more. I think that there is two ways to do this journey. I mean that you can do it for two reasons. First of all, the reason to do this kind of journey is to understand the other side, because if you really understand the philosophy behind everything, so you're able to really understand what the other person do and where is he stand, and you can really understand him better. Not for taking the philosophy for yourself. I mean, you don't have to agree, but you need to understand, and then you can accept others. And the other reason is that this way you can learn about yourself much better, because all the philosophies are really smart, so you can take from them a lot of things.
Buddha one teacher, Buddha, one Buddha, in his teaching, contradictory, different philosophies there. So I usually explaining to people, audience, the Buddha sort of taught a contradictory, different philosophy, not due to his own confusion in his mind. One day he taught this philosophy, next day he taught something different. Like drunk Buddha. No, not that. No, he deliberately, taught contradictory philosophy in order to create more confusion among his disciples. No. Then answer is, among his own disciples, there are different mental dispositions. Therefore, it is necessary to teach different philosophical view according more suitability, different mental disposition. Therefore, what we learned from there, yes, now, some religions say there is God. Jains and Buddhism say no God, no creator. Most of the religions say God, creator. Big differences, but doesn't matter. To some people, the idea of creator is so important, so effective. One of my Christian friend, he told me, this very life created by God. So no previous life, no next life, only, no previous life, this very life created by God. So that's very powerful. This very life created by God. So that was it a very strong sort of feeling of intimacy with God. Closeness. So that brings enthusiasm to follow God's teaching. Practice of love, compassion, forgiveness, these things. So very powerful. To such person, I think Buddhist sort of teaching, you are your own master. Then he may feel, oh, I have freedom. Whatever I can do, oh, okay, doesn't matter, like that. So the other one, much better, isn't it?
One of the biggest challenges, I think, is to intellectualize everything. When I read a text, to try and just understand it at the conceptual level. Okay, there is emptiness, there is shunyata, but then to try and apply that to your life is the biggest challenge, I think. Because there are lots of answers, but out there in the books, but it's only when you start applying them to your life that you figure out what works for you and what doesn't.
The journey of life is not simple. What matters the most is not what you are getting, but who you are becoming.
भगवान से तो कभी मेरी भेंट नहीं हुई। हमने सुना उनके बारे में बहुत है बचपन से। काशी में जन्म हुआ तो भगवान ने ये सब सृष्टि की और भगवान ने ये सब दुख दिया, सुख दिया, सब भगवान का दिया हुआ है और ये सब चराचर जगत सब उनसे ही व्याप्त है। लेकिन इतनी यात्राओं में और मैंने पृथ्वी की भी एक परिक्रमा की, हिमालय के दूर दूर के हिस्सों में, लद्दाख से लेके अरुणाचल तक, ये पूरा जो पश्चिम से लेकर के पूरब तक का हिमालय है, उसमें भी 40 वर्षों तक यात्रा की। काशी में तो मेरा जन्म ही है। देश में विदेश में घूमा, कहीं उनसे मुलाकात नहीं हुई। आपकी हुई हो तो बताइए।
I would like people, most of the people, to believe in God, because I find that when they believe in God, they become more lovable. They learn to love other people. Only because either they have fear in God or they love God, because of that they love other people. As long as that it helps them to love other people, I would like them to. Because if they lose that faith in God, they may not do that. I don't need it, that's a different thing. That's my personal matter, I don't need anything.
Sikhism believes that the God is everywhere, and if we cannot see him everywhere, we can't see him anywhere.